One of probably the biggest question, the question that, has plagued the minds of everyone for as long as we know, is the origin of the universe, where it comes from, how did it get here, what's it made of?
Is there only one universe? These questions, they rock us at the core. They're so intriguing when I look out at the night sky. It's amazing that there's, I don't believe in a creator, I believe it's all just there, and it's amazing that it follows these rules and there's an elegance to it. Uncovering the nature of that is so intriguing. Talking about, I know you study the idea of multiple universes and the idea of string theory relating to multiple universes. Do you have an intuition that our universe is one of many, or it is simply a mathematical model that works so well that you can't deny its implications?
Well, first of all, I don't personally work in that area, but I do know a little bit about it. I'm not an expert in it. Personally speaking, but my personal opinion may not be particularly important, I've always been a bit uncomfortable with this idea of a multiverse being an inevitable consequence of the way we currently understand the universe, because to me it's a huge extrapolation.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I actually agree. I find it more of a nice philosophical idea rather than something that... Is there anything to actually suggest anything empirical?
Well, it's almost too hard. It's impossible to make these predictions.
Well,
or to test these predictions.
Yes, it's by definition to go find a universe that's outside your own is a little bit difficult to do in a practical sense. But let me tell you why some very smart people do take this seriously, right?
Great.
And the reason is, we are trying to understand the universe that we are living in. We do our best to do that. We get some very precise theories. And then you find that when you push those theories, take them really seriously, push the theories to their limit, you find that they have the consequence that there's a multiverse, meaning that the space-time that we live in and experience is only one portion of a much more complicated structure where there are other kind of universes out there. This is something that is claimed to come about when you combine string theory, which is one of the best candidates we have, well, probably the only candidate we have at the moment for what is sometimes called a theory of everything. In other words, it's a theory of gravity and all the other forces and particles in nature. When you combine that with a cosmological requirement called inflation. So inflation is for which there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, is a period that is thought to have occurred very early after the Big Bang. And in some sense it is the Big Bang. It's a period of exponential expansion of the universe. So exponential means really, really rapid expansion of the universe.
Was it faster than the speed of light?
Yeah, actually, the bits of space-time were moving away from each other faster than the speed of light. But the local, anyway, that's another issue. It turns out that when you look at these inflationary theories rigorously, and there isn't just one, there's like a multitude of them, and we don't know which is the correct one yet. It turns out that many of them, not quite all of them, but many of them do predict the existence of a multiverse. Right. So if you believe in inflation and you believe we're using the right equations to describe inflation, those equations, for most inflationary models, have as a consequence, according to the experts in this field, the existence of something called eternal inflation, which gives rise to this multiverse structure. And then string theory comes in and says the following. So string theory admits a very large number of solutions which represent possible universes, if you like. I'm not sure what the current number is, but it's very large. It's either 10 to the 500 or 10 to the 1,000 different possible universes. These are called the string vacua. That's their technical term.
Oh, wow.
But it doesn't matter. Think of each one. These 10 to the 500 or 10 to the 1,000 things are all solutions of the equations of string theory. And those solutions represent possible ways that the universe could be. And the idea is that when you combine this vision of eternal inflation and the multiverse with this string theory fact that there are these 10 to the 500 or so different possible universes, the idea is that inevitably what should happen is that each of the different universes within the multiverse happens to have selected a different solution from string theory. So the next universe along, so to speak, may have completely different laws of nature to this one. Right? It may not be atoms and protons and electrons and photons and so on. Could have completely different laws of physics.
That vastly different these other universes could be.
Some of them are and some of them aren't. So there's a whole range of possibilities. So that's where the modern multiverse, modern multiverse is what you get when you combine that aspect of string theory with inflationary cosmology. You get this bubble-like structure of different universes with different laws of nature in each of them.
Is that like the bubbles within Swiss cheese type theory? Is that
because it's such a multi-dimensional space. Yeah. It's not possible for a human to really visualize it. But if you're going to visualize it, that's about the only way you can do it.
We try, don't we, as humans?
Well, we can't. Physicists can't visualize it either, but can solve equations.